here for a long time, so I thought I'd come on here and paint with you guys. I've been a little bit busy, you know, just life, and so today I was painting something really fun, and I decided that I was going to go on here and paint it live with you guys, because I know a lot of you like to see people paint live, and I thought it might be like interesting to watch this door hanger. So it's a little Highland cow, and it's one of my favorites. So this is a Christmas version of it, and I wanted to go on here and paint it with you guys. So hopefully you guys are having a good day. I'm having a great day so far. I've just been painting. I actually just finished painting another Highland cow. I finished this one right here earlier, and so now I have the Christmas version one to do. So I figured I was going to go live on here and paint it with you guys. Did everybody have a good weekend? How's everybody doing? I had a good weekend. I'm going to start by base coating everything. It just kind of gives me a better coverage when I base coat everything. So for this base coat on the cow, I'm going to be using, what's it called? Nutmeg. Sorry, nutmeg. Let me see if I can put you guys down just a little bit. I hope it doesn't fall. Okay. Hopefully that's better. I'll try to show y'all as I go. My setup is a little bit crazy. I've actually rearranged my craft room again, and I don't like it. It's kind of throwing me off, and it's just not set up. I don't know. It's just throwing me off. My craft room is a little bit small, and I have a lot of things going on here. I feel like I need everything, but at the same time, like, I don't really have a lot of room to grow. So once I start making a lot of stuff, I run out of room really quick, and so it gets overwhelming for me. So I've rearranged it so many times, and I haven't been happy with any of them. So but hopefully this time I can get it right, maybe. I started rearranging it last week, and I never finished because I have a few orders that I need to finish, and so I was trying to get everything organized ever since my live sale. So sorry if you guys can hear my ringer. Let me turn it off. There you go. Okay. Ever since my live sale 2 weeks ago, I've been trying to rearrange everything and get everything kind of back to normal. And so last week, I tried doing that. You know, pretty much the whole week. I was getting tired of it, you know, because it just wasn't working out the way I wanted it, and but whatever, I had to stop and, you know, work on some stuff, and then I would get back to it, and it's still not 100%. And so that's where we're at today. Today I just felt like I needed to work. I needed to get some things out, and so why I'm painting. And also, my AC in my house has been kind of going out. It's been freezing, so painting has been really hard because my craft room actually is one of the brightest rooms in my house. It's got the biggest windows. It's supposed to be a sunroom, and so as you can imagine, being in Texas, it's the hottest room. So it's really hard for me to paint like during the day. The other day I almost turned on the camera, but you know, I start painting so late that I feel like, you know, nobody's gonna be up, because it was already, for me, it was already after 9. It was almost 10 p.m. and I felt like it was way too late for some of the others that are in a different time zone and everything. So I felt like probably wasn't the smartest thing to do to go live at that time, so I didn't. Right now I'm just base coating everything. It's not fun. It's not fun. But you guys can probably hear my fan. I have a fan going on over here, so it's kind of drying my paint also. That's another reason why I haven't been painting a lot and everything, just because been a little bit difficult for me. I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling not only like mentally to get back on track. Like I was doing really good, going live all the time, and then all of a sudden I kind of lost that and lost that motivation, and then it's been hard for me to just kind of get back onto it, and then once I get started working, like I really don't want to turn on the camera sometimes. And so my hair's up today because it's so hot in this room, so forgive my looks. I'm not making excuses, guys. It's just my life, you know. It's real life over here. It's real life. Tell me about your weekend. Have y'all been having a good weekend? Hello, guys. I see some of you are on. I need you to tell me hello. That's another reason why I don't want to go live, because nobody really wants to talk to me. I feel like I'm talking to myself, guys. Come on. Give me some hellos, some hearts, or something. Let me know you're here. Can't forget his ears. Or hers. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. The other one's name is Hazel. And I might keep this one as Hazel as well, just because I like it. This is Christmas Hazel. The other one's just regular Hazel. You guys see? I'm just base coating. I'll show you guys in just a second. And I'm using the color Nutmeg to base coat. Like a reddish brown. Really pretty. Have you guys painted anything lately? I haven't been seeing much. Well, nobody's really posted anything here. Every time I ask for you guys to post something, nobody ever participates. So I don't know what's going on with us, guys. We need to do better. We need to do better. Myself included. I'm talking to myself. I feel like I always want to do stuff, you know, in my group, with my group, you know, but, you know, sometimes it's a little bit discouraging, you know, when no one wants to participate, so, you know, it is what it is. I get it. You know, sometimes you just want to relax and just watch somebody craft, you know, but for us creators that are on the other side, it's like, well, maybe they're not liking my stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I get mixed feelings. Now, since my cow is all base coated now, it's just base coat. I'll go back and of course add the shaggy hair, but I like to base coat it first because it gives me something to start off from, and I don't have to do as many strokes on my finishing part. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down all my colors first. This cow's going to be so pretty. And the customer wants it customized on the hat. You know, they want a name put on it, but I'm not going to do that on camera. I actually want to take it outside and take pictures of it before I put the name on it. I do that sometimes, so that I have a blank copy of it, because some people can't see past what's there in front, and so I like to be able to have like a clean version. I'm just trying to be very careful and not go over where the white part is going to go, because, you know, red and white are pretty, they don't work well together. The red always seems to want to come out. So I'm trying not to go into the areas that are not going to be red. Very neatly. I'm going to switch my brush to something smaller. I should have washed all my brushes, but I didn't. Something smaller, because my little berries are going to be red as well. I'll go back and add some dimension to those. artwork from back to front. You know, when I base coat, or when I paint in general. You know, like the features that are back is what I paint first, which would be the hat, like the red part of the hat, the little horns, of course the base color, and then I leave like the white. The white would be up in front, so those would be last. Also, like the holly leaves would be in the front. But since I'm just laying down the colors right now, I'm kind of not keeping to an order. And since I already had my red out, I went ahead and base coated those little holly berries as well. I'm gonna use antique white, a little bit of antique white, and cobblestone, I think. And I'm going to be doing the little horns. Let me know if you guys want to see a certain spot that, you know, that you guys can't see very well. I'm trying to move it to where you guys can see it. This antique white has quite a good coverage, so I'm gonna just go ahead and, since it's covering pretty well, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of shading to it already. That way I don't have to come back to it anymore. I don't feel like it needs 2 coats. I think the shading is gonna help with the coverage. So, and I like to shade while my paint is wet. So I'm just dipping my brush a little bit into that cobblestone, deco art cobblestone, and I'm just kind of going around the edges just a little, kind of sweeping it up just a little. I didn't wash my brush or anything. Same thing for the other side. And that's just to add a little bit of darkness to the edges, just because these little horns are like, you know, they're kind of rounded. Of course, they're like bones, or I don't know what, I guess they would be bones. And so they have like a round shape to them, and so it gives them dimension with the darker. It's just like a little cobblestone is just like a grayish, kind of like a grayish khaki color. I don't know. It's not really khaki. Khaki is more on the brown side. It's more golden. Cobblestone is more of a gray base. But with the antique white, it's, let's see if I can show you guys. It's very subtle. It's very subtle. Can you guys see it? It's a very subtle difference, but you can still see a little bit more of a dimension. There we go. I think you can see it now. It's a very subtle difference because it's just mixed in with my wet paint, but it gives it just that little pop of dimension that I want. and that was just one coat of pink, so it's a pretty good coverage on this antique white. Maybe in larger areas it might not cover as well, but maybe like a half coat or something if you needed to go over it just a little. And I still haven't washed my brush. It still has all the colors in it. And now I'm going to re-dip my corner of my brush just a tiny bit and go over the edges. See that? Okay. Now with the same color, I am gonna do the, I don't know what it's called, mouth part, nose part. You guys know the word for it, let me know. I don't know the word. Is it snout? Am I saying it right? I don't even know. Honestly, guys, I'm sorry. For this part, I should have probably changed brush. Something a little bit bigger. But I'm gonna go with it. Hello to everyone that's on here right now. How are y'all doing today? I hope everybody's okay. I've missed y'all. It's been a little while that I haven't been on here. My paint is drying super fast, guys. Because of my fan. I just got wrong color. Wrong color. I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm adding a little bit of that cobblestone. And I am just going around and kind of making the edges a little bit darker. I also want to do right in here kind of see the difference. Welcome to everybody that's just hopping on. I can't see any comments. Again, I don't know if it's just me or if it's you guys. I'd love it if you guys would say hi. Let me know you are enjoying this, or at least give me some heart, something. Got a little bit of shading now. Let's do the bottom. There we go. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush now. And now I'm going to be doing black. Black is inside of here. Be careful and not mess up. I'm also going to do her eyes already. first Highland cow I ever painted had only one eye. Well, I'm sure she had two. It was just covered up by all the hair. And, you know, I had her hanging. I painted it just because I liked it. It was not an order. So I really just liked it, and I knew I would sell it eventually. And so, I went ahead and painted it. Well, I had her hanging on my craft room. And my husband would, every time he would walk by, he was like, oh, that cow is so creepy. That cow is so creepy. He hated my cow. I thought she was the cutest thing ever, you know, with her sassy hair over her eye and everything. I thought it was so cute. And so this time that I painted her, you know, I ended up selling that one a while back. And then this time that I painted the same one, I painted it earlier today. The lady that ordered it, she says, I agree. She says, she is creepy. So I went ahead and added a second eye to this one as well. Just like this Christmas one. It was just kind of, I don't know. I thought she was so cute with just one eye covered, you know, but I guess it was a little creepy. I don't know. I thought it was cute. I'm gonna go ahead and base coat this little hat. With the white. Hungry. It's dinner time, right? Have you guys adjusted to the time change already? I haven't. I feel like yesterday was the longest day of my life. And then, I'm hungry a lot earlier and stuff. So, like, my actual body has not adjusted. It's so weird. Just base coating, guys, still. I know it takes forever, but I promise it's going to go by faster once it's base coated and everything. The second coat is the best one because that's where you do like all the detail and the shading and all the stuff. It's just, the first coat is always kind of tedious because I don't want to get my colors in the wrong spot. It's always harder for me to cover mistakes once they're already down, so I try not to make them to begin with. I like to take my time when I'm painting. this white's going to need several coats. So I'm going to try to go over it just a little bit again in a little bit. And give it like a quick second coat, and I might still need a third one after this. I do have a fan on right here in front of me, so it's drying my paint almost as I put it down. So it's not taking forever to dry. So I can go back and add a second coat right now. And then later when I do like my shading and stuff, then I'll go ahead and add another coat to wet my paint. Almost out of white paint. Black and white are always the colors that I go through the fastest. I guess because almost every single door hanger I make has something black and white, so I go through those colors a lot. I hope you guys don't have questions for me because I still cannot see any questions or comments. That makes me sad, guys. I don't know what is up with this. Let me go through my settings and see. Maybe there's something that I can do about that. I don't know. It's a little bit concerning for me. But I can't, you know, talk to you guys on my lives. I don't know what's wrong. A couple of weeks ago, I had a live sale on my page. I'm sure you guys were aware of it. And halfway through my live, it just turned off. My broadcast just quit working. It stopped, like, it just went black, the whole thing. And so nobody could see me, I couldn't see them, and kind of freaked me out a little. And I tried to get back on and it still wasn't working, so I had to cancel until the next day and do it over again. And so that day I kind of stressed out a lot, and yeah, it was just kind of a stressful day for me. And so I've taken a little bit of time to trust Facebook again with lives, you know. It just, you know, it's not a big deal maybe, but to me it was a big deal. I worked very hard on my live sale, and it was just kind of sad, you know, because I felt like, you know, I'm going to lose people, you know, the people that were there watching and participating, you know, in my sale, they might not want to come back the next day, you know. And so it was just kind of a little bit devastating for me and sad. But I'm okay. I lived. I lived. I'm back, you know. looks like so far. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. The only shading I have done is like around the mouth with the off-white, antique white, I mean. And then of course the little horns. That's the only shading that I have done so far. Okay. So now I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and work on its hat. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the top first. With his little hat, and try that with, you know, that way I'm done with all of this, and all I have to do is work on her, on the cow. You can just work on that. Obviously, you can choose to do the cow first, or whatever you choose, but this is what I want to do. Oh, and I should have base coated my leaves too. Forgot about those. We'll do those next. I'm using a little bit of flamenco red to go over a few of the areas, and just to make some places darker. Give it a little bit of a shade throughout. I'm just kind of going through and adding it to my wet paint. I just want to give it some kind of a little bit of a dimensional look. Going around the edges, just nothing too particular. I'm just kind of going in there and just adding the red to it, the darker. How I paint, guys. I just kind of, you know, put colors where I feel like they need to go. I don't have a special technique or anything to like my shading, anything like that. I just kind of put the colors where I feel like, you know, they go, and then I kind of just blend them. I've always done it this way. I don't have like a special technique or anything like that to do what I do. I just blend my colors and add colors as I go. I try to add colors that are like maybe 1 or 2 shades only, like different, and that's what my key to shading is. Like, you know, if you add something that's a lot darker to, like, for example, this red, like if I was to add a little bit of black to it, you totally can shade with black, but it's just a lot harder to get it to blend. And so I always tend to add a little bit of shadowing instead with a color that's just a tiny bit darker than what I want my shading to go. It just, I feel like it goes by a little bit better for me. It's not like, you know, difficult this way. I'm going back and adding my red, my bright red to this on top, just to kind of smooth things out on top. Oh, and I just got some red on that. I have to go over it. So now you can see that the flamenco red is in there, but it's not like harsh or anything. It's just in there, like kind of just giving it that shade a little bit. And so also at the same time, I'm probably going to add just a little tiny drop of white on my brush, and then I'm going to actually make even like a dry brush, and right on top of this red that I just put, I'm going to go ahead and do like a very light highlight with the same brush. Like, I'm not even washing it or anything, just adding a tiny bit of like dry brushing of white on top of it, and it's just giving a little bit of a pop. Maybe I'll go back on there later and add a little bit more of a highlight on there, but for now I feel like that was enough. Okay, and then now let's do our leaves before I forget those again. Because these are going to need several coats as well. The color I'm using on this one is actually Christmas green. I really like this green color, especially for Christmas, except it's very sheer. It needs several coats to cover it. So a lot of the times I will add like another color of green first, and then I'll do this one, but I'm being a little bit of a rebel today and just kind of going with it. This is a really pretty green for the holly leaves. Well, I guess for any leaves, but it's got like, it's just really pretty, like a real pretty green color. I'm using this tiny brush just because I want to be able to get into these little crevices. But I'm trying to go back and smooth out my paint so it doesn't leave a lot of streaks. get on to the fun part. For this part, which is the cow, I will be going back and adding some shading and stuff for my white afterwards, but let's do this one first. For the cow, I'm going to be adding 3 different colors, possibly 4. I'm going to be using burnt umber, nutmeg, and khaki. And I'm also going to be using a round brush, something kind of medium, not a huge one. There's, you know, bigger round brushes, but I want something smaller. Like this. Okay, so now I'm going to be working from the bang part, or from the front, top of the face down. So let me know if you guys can see, or if you need, you know, if I need to slow down, something. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my brush in the darkest color, which is the raw burnt umber, and I'm kind of going to outline just a little bit of places that are kind of like, I want it to look like hair, you know, so it's going to be like random little pieces that are just kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Like little chunks of hair or something like that, you know, just very random. And I'm going from the very top of my hat. That's why I didn't finish off the hat, if you guys noticed that, because I was going to go ahead and do shading and stuff to it. But just in case I accidentally get some of this brown in there, I wanted to be able to go back and fix that first. So I'll show you guys this in just a second. See that? It looks like a little bit of hair. I don't know, just anywhere. And I'm also going to go down all the way to here, because all of this right here is also hair. So even if you go into the nose part, it's okay, because I mean, obviously the hair's going to hang down all the way. So I'm just kind of creating kind of long strands of hair everywhere. See that? Now, without washing my brush, I'm going to go ahead and dip it back into my nutmeg, the one that I used to base coat, and just kind of go in and soften it up a little bit. Go over all those harsh, darker spots that I went into, kind of blending them a little bit almost. So it just kind of looks like little streaks, little, I don't know, little hair streaks. Just kind of going in there and just this is just like a free, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's not really technical, like it's not a technique or anything. It's just kind of putting little strokes down with it, and just kind of going with those lines that I created with the dark. That's why I created those lines with the dark first, because that's the movement of the hair that I'm getting. Now I'm going to be adding a little bit of the khaki as well, and this one's going to be a little bit less. And I'm also going to be adding a little bit of highlights throughout the hair on there. And you can always go back and remove some of those highlights, you know, by adding a little bit more of the browns on top of it and stuff. But I like to add the highlights in there because it also helps me like break it up as well. But very cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it down and kind of work on it for a little bit, and then I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Maybe you guys can still see a little bit. It's hard to work in the air. And I'm just redipping my brush into all my colors. Like if I feel like I need dark in a certain area, then I'll do dark, and then I'll go back in and add a little bit of lighter colors. And then I'll go back through and I'll add my highlights. So just kind of switching back and forth to all the colors. Trying to go all the way up to the hat part, right at the edge, so just so that it looks like it's coming from underneath it. I will be touching up that white just a little bit, because you can see I've gotten a little bit of brown in there. I'm trying not to, but it's a little bit difficult to get up close to it, but that's why I didn't finish that part yet. That way I could finish this part first. This, I'm not gonna lie, is a very tedious painting. Very tedious, just because it's little strokes. You know, the more time you take on it, the better it turns out, I feel. So, I mean, you could have just done it the way I did it earlier and just kind of base coat it and just kind of gone through and added a few little, you know, strands of hair, but I mean, it's all up to you, and however much work you want to put into your piece. So I love the way this turned out the first time, and the first time it actually took me quite a while to do it, because you know, I was kind of still working on getting my little technique down, how I wanted to do it, and so it took me quite a while to do. But I feel like this is, like, I'm getting a little faster at it, you know, as I go, and I'm kind of working in sections. As you can tell, I kind of started off with the face, or the, you know, eye part, and then now I'm kind of moving on to the sides. I'll be finishing both sides, and then we'll go on to the bottom, and then I'll do the ears. So work in sections, so that way you don't get overwhelmed. Take a break if you need to in between. Just enjoy the process. It's a fun little door hanger to paint. I'm thinking of doing one of these on canvas. I think that would be so pretty. One side done. Other side. Let's go to the bottom. This one you can do longer strokes, longer hair strokes. if you want to. You can keep them shorter, you know, like the front and the sides, but there's no need to. You can still get the same effect by doing longer strokes as well. Midtones and a few highlights in between as well. feel like there's spots that need to be filled in, you can either add highlights or whatever. Now I just need to do the ears. And the ears are pretty much the same. They just have a little bit of a darker spot in the middle. There's one little ear. She's taking shape. She's looking good. Over my white one more time. And this time I'm going to add a little bit of the cobblestone. This one right here. Just a tiny bit to my corner of my brush, and just to add a little bit of color to it. Not much. Just to the edges, just a little bit to kind of dirty it up just a little bit. You guys can see it. My light is kind of bright. There we go. I'll put a little bit of shade to it. You can kind of see that I just dirtied up just a little bit of that white, just to give it the illusion that it's like puffy or, you know, kind of like the fuzzy cotton type look. You don't have to do that. You can all, you know, just do it all white. It's fine. I just like to add a little bit of dimension to it. That's the way to elevate your pieces. You know, that's the difference between painting it, you know, just a flat color versus giving it like a little bit of a shading, a little bit of a color variation. It elevates your pieces. And it doesn't take long at all. It takes practice, you know, and of course, the longer you take on your piece, you know, like, you really don't want to take forever on a door hanger, you know, on something that's not, you know, not that it's like bad to take much, but you know, you got to think about it. You if you take 3 hours on a piece, you know, and you only sell it for, you know, $30, $40, whatever, like, that took you 3 hours, you know, and it's like, I mean, that's not including, you know, getting it cut or, you know, whatever your process is. So it's, you've got to include your, you know, you got to work on, like, your price, on how, you know, on, you know, you elevate your piece as much as you can without overspending on time, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But the, you know, the details do matter, and they do, you know, they do help you, you know, become more successful, I believe, you know, because people that like your style of painting and stuff, you know, they'll come back and they'll buy again, you know, or, so some of you don't really care to sell, and that's okay, you know, if you just like to craft and do, then you can afford to take 5 hours on a piece, you know, and you know, I may be a lot faster than you are, you know, but I've also been doing this for 5 years, you know, or something like that. So don't be discouraged by not being able to do exactly what I can do, you know, but you just practice. You could just practice and do things at your own pace, and you'll be successful, you know. at whatever you want to do. If you just want to craft, then that's fine. Just craft. Just craft. But, you know, always try to do better than before, you know. Try to increase your skills. If you can. I'm sure you can. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. Trust me. When I started painting in 2017, I had no clue I could paint. I had never owned paints. I had never owned paintbrushes. You know, I've always been a crafter. I've always done, you know, a lot of things, you know. Like, I've always been very intrigued by art all the time, you know, but I never had really set my mind to, you know, painting something or, you know, doing something like this. Like, that was something that I thought was so out of my league, you know, that I would never be able to do. And one day I just sat there and I was watching a video, or I started looking through Pinterest, you know. I was looking up ideas. I had gotten a little furniture set piece from, you know, that I had gotten. It was like a metal piece, and I had, you know, painted it to go with like my outside decor. Like, I really wanted it to have like a bright front porch, so I painted my little bistro set. I painted it turquoise, like my chairs right here, this color, like my new. It's my favorite color. So I had painted it that color, and it was just so bright. And then I also painted some plant like pots, and like to match that. And I had gotten really pretty you know, flowers to go in my pots and everything, and so it was just so bright and pretty. And I started looking, and I said, I really need something for my front door. Like, I feel like it needs something. And I didn't have anything at the time, you know, and but I knew that I probably could make something, you know, a wreath or something, you know, but I didn't have anything to go with the decor that I had just started working on. And I started, you know, I was loving my porch with the bright colors and everything, but nothing just seemed to pop. And I had this idea of what I wanted, but I just didn't know, like, I didn't know how to execute it. And so I started going on Pinterest, and I found something that I really liked. I had no clue before what a door hanger was at all. And I saw this Texas shape, because I live in Texas, and I saw a Texas shape, and I really fell in love with it because it had the color that I needed. Like, it had flowers on it, and it was just like, it incorporated the turquoise that I was using, and everything. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like I want to try to make that. I don't know if I am going to be able to, but I'm going to try. So I went to Walmart, and I knew, because I'm, you know, since I'm a crafter, I'm always in the craft aisle. I knew that Walmart had the little boards to paint, you know, like little MDF boards already cut to the Texas shape, because I had seen them before. And so I went to Walmart, and I found it, and I bought it. And I bought some paint and some brushes, and came home and attempted it. Well, I liked the way it turned out, you know. It was super, super cute. I mean, of course, it was my first time painting, and it, you know, it wasn't exactly beautiful, but to me it was good. You know, I was like, wow, I'm proud of myself. I actually painted something. I had never even attempted it, you know, and it was such a good feeling, you know. I really, really enjoyed it. it was like therapy, you know. And so after that, you know, I showed my sisters. I was so proud. I showed my sisters and my husband, you know, and everybody was like, oh my God, you did that? You know, that looks so good. You should sell those. And I said, oh no. I said, there's no way, you know. And so my sister said, well, can you make me one? I said, sure, I'll make you one. So I went back and I bought another one and I recreated it and I sent it to her and she loved it. And then my sister was like, you definitely need to try to sell, you know, to sell these. Like, that is so cool, like, that you can do this, you know. And I said, no, you know, it was just, my confidence just wasn't there completely, you know. And so I, of course, was, you know, making other crafts at the time, you know. I did a little bit of, I made t-shirts and I did crocheting and stuff like that, you know, but not painting at all. And after a while of them, you know, telling me that I should sell, you know, I was like, okay, fine, you know. So I came up with another design similar to mine, but it was different colors, different flowers, you know. But I wanted to do something different than what I had, of course, gotten off of Pinterest and whatever. Like, I really wanted something that was my own. And so I started painting it, and that was before I knew, you know, the ethics of, you know, stealing somebody's artwork, you know, stuff like that. Like, I didn't know anything about that. I was not in the business of, you know, painting or even making door hangers, selling anything. Like, I was not. It was strictly just for me, you know. And so when I decided I was going to sell, you know, I opened up a little Etsy shop, and I had a few, they were still the Texas shapes that I was buying at Walmart, but mainly I had like 4 or 5 different styles of Texas shape that I did. I did like a Texas flag, and then I had some that were floral, but in different colors, and one of them was striped. You know, it was just different ones, you know. And I put those up on Etsy. Well, it didn't sell for a long time, like maybe a month or so, and then finally one day, one of them sold, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so cool, you know. So I sent it out, and then a couple of weeks went by, and I sold another one, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, maybe I could do this, you know, like, that is so cool. So, you know, that's kind of how I started, like, slowly, and I was just making those Texas shapes until one day, I knew that my husband had a jigsaw in the garage that we never used, you know, and I was like, I want to try cutting my own shapes. That way I can sell other stuff than just the Texas, you know. And so I went out there to the garage, and, you know, just with like scrap wood that we had there, I started cutting. Shapes, and then first I was using MDF. So we went and got a sheet of MDF, and I went, you know, I started practicing on it, and I started cutting several things, and I made stuff for my family, you know, just to kind of give them. And you know, of course, my Etsy orders were already starting to happen, you know, so I started cutting my own Texas shape instead of buying it. And then you know, it just kind of slowly started like that. And then that's finally when I started you know, joining other groups, and then learning about templates and all the things. At first I didn't know. I would just cut my own shapes and just kind of draw my own things. A lot of my stuff was actually you know, just freehanded. It wasn't, I didn't have a template. I didn't know about templates at the time, you know. And that's just how I started, and I really enjoyed it. you know, and then fast forward to 2020 is when I started my business. It took me that long, you know, to actually, you know, start up a business. Of course, I was a hairstylist, and or I still am. I am a licensed cosmetologist, but at the time I was actually working at the salon, and you know, so it was just this was just like kind of something that I did on the side, you know. It wasn't really a business. And then you know, when 2020, when, you know, the pandemic started and everything, I started getting super busy. You know, I started TikTok, and I started putting out my work on TikTok, and I started getting orders for stuff, and it was kind of crazy for me, you know, because I got really, really busy. So I figured, okay, this is not a hobby anymore. Like, this is an actual business. So I had to get all my paperwork and all that stuff, you know, together and actually become a business. And so that's kind of what I've been doing this whole time, and just enjoying my process. I really like it. I enjoy this very much, you know, and some days I do get overwhelmed, you know, especially like 2 weeks ago with my live sale and everything. You know, I worked really hard on all my stuff, and then I wasn't able to show it, and I felt like I had lost all my you know, all my viewers and things like that, you know. So that really, really kind of broke me down a little bit and kind of made me sad. But you know, it's stuff that you can't predict. A lot of that, you know, it just happens. And so you just gotta keep on moving, you know. And I did really well on my sale, and then I started getting all these other orders, and you know, it's just you just gotta keep going. You can't, you know, can't let one little hiccup, you know, slow you down. And so I've been getting quite a bit of orders lately, and I know it's because it's Christmas time and everything, and so I'm blessed. I'm happy to be able to provide my artwork for others, and you know, and just provide for the family, for my family, you know. It's my husband and I, you know, and we just, you know, we just keep going, you know. And so I know right now the economy's kind of bad, and you know, a lot of people are struggling, and I'm just blessed to be able to even do something that I love, you know, for a living, you know, to be able to sell my artwork and everything. Now, I'm not going to say it hasn't been hard, you know. There's been times that it's been tough, you know, to get sales and things like that, you know. But I mean, I'm sure it's been tough for everyone, not just me. So you just can't give up. You've got to keep going, and your people will find you. Just show up, be on live, and be on it again the next day if you can. You know, it's just, that's what I had to do last week. You know, I was on my live sale. I just, you know, I didn't give up. I thought about it. I wanted to just give up and say, you know what, this is not going to work, or this is a sign or something, you know. And but I was like, no, like, I worked really hard on my items, and for no one to be able to see them, like, that just kind of devastated me a little bit. So I said, no, I'm going to try one more time. If it doesn't work, then I'll try something else. We'll see. I almost thought about doing, like, a live sale on a different platform. Hi, Selma. This is actually not one of my templates. This is somebody else's template. It's Wallace House Design, and I know she sells through Home Creations and Milling, I believe. I can look for a link to this if you want and send it to you. You may be able to find the template on her website. It's wallacehousedesigns.com. The blanks, I know that she sells them through a different company, but I'd have to link it for you. I don't sell blanks. I cut my own blanks usually with my scroll saw, and so it's just difficult for me to get it, you know, because a lot of people like the etched wood, you know, and stuff like that. It's hard for me, and then also I'm not able to, you know, to sell you the template or anything so that you can put your own design on it. So I usually have to draw the design on the wood if I send it out myself, and so some people don't like that, and some people just, you know, would prefer for it to be etched, and so I just kind of don't sell blanks. So cute. I feel like I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna go over. Oh no, I'm not done yet. I need to put some eyeballs on this cute little guy. I'm just using a big brush on the back of it. Give him a little twinkle. Now I'm going to just outline it, and then the customer wants a name across the hat, but I'll be doing that later after I take a picture of this. I like to take a finished picture of it like this without any names, and then that way I can have that for my records, and then I'll personalize it afterwards. I'm going to dry this real good, real quick, and then that way I can add some highlights to it and some outlines. up there at the top. Just one more time. There we go. Fixed it. So cute. going through and adding black to some areas just to kind of define it just a little bit more. I will show y'all the finished piece once I'm done with all this. Everything. Touch up a little bit on the black on the eyes. Okay, I think she's done. Look how cute she is, guys. That is so, so pretty. Sorry for my lighting. I know that my light is so, so bright, so it's hard to see all the details that I added to. You can see it a little bit when I turn it. I know it's hard. I'm trying to turn my table to where you guys can see it a little bit better. So my light doesn't bother you guys, but there she is. That's so, so cute. Me, I would love to add some glitter to it and everything, but of course this one's not for me, so maybe on the next one I would add some glitter, maybe to the hat or something. I don't know. She's just so cute, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know it's a little bit difficult to explain a lot of the things, you know, because it was just kind of messy, so but hopefully you guys understood it and you guys liked it. So here she is, and I'll post a finished picture, of course, on my page, so you guys will get to see her better in good lighting. But here she is, and here's her sister. Here's the sister. So I painted this one earlier. She's already finished, sealed, and everything. And then here's the one I just did. So you guys will get to see those up close. Can't get them both in the, oh, maybe. There we go. Try to get them both in the frame. Alright guys. Well, thank you so much for being here for this long live that I did. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.